What's up, YouTube? Today I have a very short video to share with you on how you can turn your marketing into an actual asset for your business. Instead of just focusing on your marketing being something that converts, you can focus your marketing on being so valuable that even if someone doesn't buy something from you, they're likely to share your marketing with their friends and peers who, let's face it, will probably be part of your target audience. Let's dive into it. Hey everyone, Greg Elfrink here from Empire Flippers. I am in beautiful Bangkok and I am very sweaty. This room, this aircon is not great, but hopefully the library stuff behind me is interesting for you. There's a cooler view over here of the city, but I don't know how to set up my camera yet to let you appreciate all this brightness that is shining into my eyes right now. Anyhow, let's dive into it. So there is a cool marketing lesson here that I think is very powerful if you are doing any kind of marketing where you're building a real long-term brand. And that is turning your marketing into an actual show. So the almost obvious way of doing this would be something like a podcast, right? A podcast is a show. It is a radio show, right? But most people stop there. They think of, their Facebook ads as just a bridge to bring them over to somewhere else, right? To bring that traffic over to somewhere else, like a landing page, and hopefully they convert right away. And most of us, especially in B2B with long sales cycles, know that doesn't happen, right? You put the ad out there, they click it, you spend money, you lose money, and that's about it. So what you can do here is turn all of your marketing into a show, including that Facebook ad. And the key driver here is to understand that your marketing should be so valuable that even if they don't buy or buy anything from you, they still want to come back and visit your marketing more and more as a resource. And that will likely make them share that piece of marketing with their friends and family, their peers and colleagues, and all that kind of good stuff. So we did this recently with an email newsletter called This Week in M&A. So to give you a little context on this, we used to send out an email every single Friday at Empire Flippers where we just list all the things we've been in. Like, it is very hot in here. I'm wondering how glistening I am on this video right now. So we sent out this email once per week called the Content Wrap Up, and then listed all of our blog posts, all of our podcasts, whether it was a guest post, us being a guest on a podcast, all that kind of stuff. And it was just a weekly reminder, hey, look, this is all the stuff we've done, come check us out. And it did okay. It got like maybe 15% open rate with a 1% click-through rate. And there's a lot of different links there. And we were talking about a lot of the same stuff, to be honest, because most of the time when we do a guest post with another website, usually the audience of that brand doesn't even know that they can sell a business. So typically we're always talking about the same stuff of how valuations work, right? So for our audience at EF, this is really boring. This is not good. So we decided to change it up. I got rid of the content wrap up completely, and I started sending out targeted emails to very specific segments of our audience that would resonate with them. So for example, with the supply chain crisis or the Amazon storage updates, we sent out blog posts and articles about that stuff just to the FBA audience. Now that's good. Our open rates skyrocketed, our click-through rate skyrocketed, but we ran into another problem. See, my team isn't infinite. We only talk and create so much content at once. And because we're so heavily focused on Amazon FBA at the moment, most of our content's there. So that means a large swath of my audience is no longer getting news and updates from us, or at least not as much as they were, and they were wondering what's going on. Right? So our FBA audience, they were just getting hammered with all of these emails that at first had huge open rates, but because we were hitting that segment so often, those metrics start going down, right? So I thought, okay, well, what could we do here to revitalize this? So a few months ago, we came up with an idea of starting a newsletter that was more like the Hustle or the Morning Brew, something that's entertaining, light, casual, and gives you a good recap of what is really going on in the industry at any given time. So I thought, well, why don't we take this idea and apply it to a new version of the content wrap-up, a 2.0, if you will. And we called it This Week in M&A. Now, This Week in M&A, it covers a TLDR of issues all around online businesses, buying and selling businesses, news and updates from private equity that is related to our space. Not just some high and mighty, SoftBank invests $1 billion into a unicorn that has no relation to what you're doing, but actual stuff that matters, say new aggregators getting funding, or Amazon's terms of services changing, or whatever that makes sense for you. And we put it in small bite-sized chunks so you're not spending all day reading 50,000 words of blog posts, right? You can if you want. We put the links in there. So we made this entertaining. We even have a meme of the week. We have pictures of people being digital nomads, all from our team, other customers, all that kind of stuff. And now that it's been out, we're on issue, I believe, number 5 at the point of me recording this. It has been a huge success. So this is a channel similar to Facebook ads where people just think like, oh, promo, and that's it, that we have effectively turned into a show. This is something I'm always talking about that you should be doing in your marketing, whether it's with YouTube, podcasts, blogs, but expand it out to all the other parts of your marketing. So what are some of the stats here? One, our open rate has gone up. Our open rate tends to be between 20 and 22% on these. So not like gigantic, but pretty good size. And because of that increased open rate, we did get a slight bump of the click-through rate. And because of the increased open rate, that actually means a lot more people clicking. We're getting click-through rates between 2 and 2.5%. Still not like insane, but this is great, a huge improvement over our old content wrap-up. Now, the really crazy number here is typically when I look at other people's emails, most people have a very high percentage of people who are reading that email who are just completely skimming. They're just skimming, like, where's the link? Get me out of here as quickly as I can, all that kind of stuff. And I've heard of people who say like they like that. They want to train their people to basically click whatever link they put in. And that makes sense, I think, if you're doing a shorter sales cycle. If you have a longer sales cycle, it really doesn't matter as much because your goal is just building that nurturing relationship over and over again, right? Like the CTAs in the email are almost an afterthought in that aspect. So with the M&A, this week in M&A, what was our skim rate? Well, our skim rate was right around 15%. Now that's been going down as each new issue comes out and our audience starts learning about each new issue of this week in M&A, and they start expecting it, they start wanting it and all that kind of stuff. So our actual read rate, which is people actually stopping and reading each paragraph of the actual newsletter, is between 85 to, I think last week was around 92%. That is crazy in a world that is filled with distractions, with so many different things going on. My audience is reading this newsletter about 85 to 92% of the time all the way through. And I can even see it on the click-through maps, on the heat maps, where people are landing and stopping and engaging and consuming these different aspects of the content. We even put some social rewards in there, or not social rewards, but social feedback stuff, like people can tag us on Instagram or go and just leave feedback on a type form for us to improve the newsletter, and astoundingly, overwhelmingly positive. So how can you do this with your own business? Well, I kind of already said it. You want to create a show, create a character, create a persona. So what we did with This Week in M&A is took our old boring content wrap-up email and we morphed it into a mini hustle, mini morning brew style of commentary on the industry, right? And people are subscribing to this. And what is interesting about this, if this trend keeps going, and we haven't done this yet, but this is the next step, I'm going to be able to create landing pages where now my Facebook ads can jump people into This Week in M&A, where my newsletter, just the newsletter that we're producing and like curating all this news and getting all this cool content out to our audience, is so valuable. People want to join it just for that alone. And that's the real message here. Figure out how you can turn each piece of your marketing into a show. It takes a lot more work and it's not as clear when it comes to your analytics, but long term, you will win because of that. Talk to you later. Bye.